Welcome on in, baseball fans. How you doing? We have some breaking news. Charlie Montoyo of the Toronto Blue Jays has been fired. An absolute shocker. How are we doing, everyone? How are we doing? Welcome on in. Welcome on in. Was not expecting to go live right now. I'm over here working on some MLB draft content. Expect some of that soon, either today or tomorrow. The MLB draft just kind of came up out of nowhere. I'm thinking, I don't know, I thought we had like another week, and then I'm looking at the old calendar here, and yeah, and it's this Sunday. Holy cow, like it just snuck up on us really quickly. So I do expect some content on that either today or tomorrow. I will be going live tonight with baseball trade values to discuss some of the latest trade news and rumors. So I will be live again tonight, probably around 8:30. So be on the lookout for that. But yeah, was not expecting to go live right now. I'm just sitting here over here working, and all of a sudden, bam, a shocker. Charlie Montoyo fired, man, and you know, that's pretty big news. You know, that's three managers now that have been fired, and that's two managers where the Red Sox were playing the Angels at the time, and then Joe Madden got fired, and now Charlie Montoyo. So, my goodness, you know, it's same division. You know, it's like, it's pretty weird to see, considering all of the expectations coming into this year. Everyone was drinking the Blue Jays Kool-Aid. It was as blue as could be. Everyone was already crowning the Blue Jays as World Series champions. It was over. It was a done deal. And look where we are. The Blue Jays kind of got off to a bit of a slow start there out of the gate. You know, they weren't doing bad by any means, but they weren't as good as people thought they were going to be. Then they started to get hot a little bit, but lately they're just not playing great baseball. My goodness, it's a pretty weird sight to see. You never see managers get fired in season. Usually it's an off season kind of a thing, and now we already have three managers that have gotten fired. Like, what the heck is going on? My goodness. But before I do kind of just get into everything, if you are new, think about hitting that subscribe button. Everyone, we are on the road to 25,000 subscribers. We've been getting a lot of traffic lately, getting a lot of new subscribers. So if you are new, welcome on in. But if there is anyone else new, definitely hit that subscribe button. It's a busy time of the year, especially for all the news and rumors coming up. We got the draft this weekend. Busy time. Also, everyone, whatever you're doing right now, stop what you're doing. Freeze at this moment. Now take your finger, and I want you to take your finger, and I want you to go hit the like button on your phone, or if you're on the desktop, go take that mouse, move it over to the like button, and just click it, just ever so subtly. Everyone, hit that like button for me. Hit the bell notification so you get notified of every time I go live and every time I upload. And hey, share the stream if you can. Don't forget, we are partners with Prize Picks. $20 off your first purchase. Use my code HYDE. And don't forget, we are partners with Prize Picks as well. Use my code GINGER. They'll give you a 100% deposit match if you're into the sports betting game. Alrighty, so let's get into it here. No more time wasted. Here we go. Gotta make sure I got all my draft information over here. I've been studying away over here for the last few hours. I'm already on like my third cup of coffee, and my goodness, I'm gonna need some more of it. But Ken Rosenthal was the first to break the news. Ken Rosenthal, very valuable source. Charlie Montoyo has been fired as the manager of the Blue Jays. Okay, and obviously some more people chiming on in. Bob Nightingale. The Toronto Blue Jays had high expectations this year, and Charlie Montoyo pays the price, becomes the third manager fired. That just blows my mind. Joel Sherman chiming in. Blue Jays are a half game up on final AL wildcard spot and have built team record payroll with big recent year outlays on Ryu, Springer, Barrios, Gausman, Kikuchi, trade for Chapman. Yeah, man, huge offseason for the Blue Jays. Now, the signing of Gausman, I think, kind of balances out the loss of Robbie Ray. Robbie Ray was so good last year. You brought in Gausman, so I feel like that kind of evened it out. but you did bring in Kikuchi. I wasn't too excited about that move for the Blue Jays. I thought it could be just a nice back-end piece, maybe contribute maybe 1 to 2 wins on that team. Obviously, you brought in Springer the year prior. The trade for Chapman, I liked the trade. I thought, hey, it's going to improve your defense, but he is coming off of a hip surgery. You're not really sure what you're going to be getting out of him. Kind of a down year last year. Average on base were a little low. The power was still there, but with Chapman, I didn't hate the move by any means, but you're bringing in Chapman. Well, you also have to remember too, you had a huge year for Marcus Semien last year, and when you're just looking at the terms of wins and losses, you're losing Semien, Robbie Ray. That together right there was around 10 to 12 wins, somewhere in that range. I think Robbie Ray had around a 5 Fangraph WAR, while Marcus Semien, I believe, was around like a 6 to a 7. So you lost a lot of wins. So, yeah, they had a very active offseason bringing in a lot of these guys. But really, at the end of the day, when you think about it, it kind of evened out. Where everyone obviously was thinking, oh, Vlad Jr., he's so young. He had an amazing season. He's only going to keep getting better. This guy's going to hit 90 home runs this year. Well, no, to me, I expected let me just turn off the phone here. I expected Vlad, honestly, to not really get any better. I expected pitchers to adjust to him a little bit more. Obviously, they had a hard time doing that last year, but to me, I didn't expect him to really do that much better than he did last year. The guy was out of his mind, should have won the MVP if it wasn't for the modern-day Babe Ruth, Shohei Ohtani, but what can you do? I'm not trying to, talk smack on the Blue Jays here. I thought they would be a good team coming into this year. I thought, okay, we got all our pieces together. Don't forget Springer was out a lot last year, so that was definitely something that contributed to the Blue Jays' wins and losses last year. I think if you had Springer for a full season, I think you really could have made the playoffs last year. So to me, I felt a hungry team coming into this year. But then I had always heard some whispers about Charlie Montoyo. You'd always hear Blue Jays fans chiming in. I read more negative about Charlie Montoyo than positive. I read a lot about bullpen moves being questionable. Just not really a big fan of just his managing style. I kind of got the idea that Charlie Montoyo was kind of the one guy from Blue Jays fans. This is I'm just basing this off of what I've read on Twitter and elsewhere, and the Reddits as well. They feel like, or a lot of Blue Jays fans felt like he was the piece that was kind of holding them back a little bit. I never got that same vibe like with Red Sox fans over Alex Cora. We love Alex Cora. We love Terry Francona. We love those managers. We love John Farrell when he first came in, helped win a World Series. I never got that vibe about Montoyo from Blue Jays fans. I always felt like it was something, he was holding them back a little bit. And the moves that I read about the most was the bullpen moves. And I'm not going to fully put the blame on the bullpen for Charlie Montoyo. If we take a look here at the reliever stats over the last 30 days on Fangraphs, Toronto is right near the bottom. 29th overall in the last 30 days when it comes to Fangraph WAR. This bullpen has actually contributed to for a negative 0.5 Fangraph WAR over the last 30 days. They have a 4.85 ERA. The expected numbers aren't really that much better, a 4.71 FIP. 8 strikeouts per 9 isn't too bad, but if you look right here, 1.49, a home run and a half per 9. That's not good for a bullpen. You need to clean that up just a little bit. So Toronto, their bullpen has not been great. And if you go to my video that I made last week on one trade for each team by the deadline, the one guy that I think the Blue Jays should go after would be Joe Mantiply of the Arizona Diamondbacks. Doesn't necessarily have to be him, but I feel like when you look at the bullpen, I see a couple of lefties here. We got Tim Meza. He's the lefty guy. I feel like you could use maybe another lefty somewhere in here. When you're looking at Tim Meza, I see a 2.92 ERA, which is really good, a 3.64 FIP. I would want Toronto to add another shutdown kind of a guy. I do like Romano at the back end. If we take look at Romano's numbers here, pretty solid. A 2.53 ERA, 3.08 FIP. For me, I would like my closer to have a little bit more strikeouts. That's just my personal preference. You don't have to agree with that. But he does tend to walk some guys, almost 4 walks per night. He's good at keeping the ball inside the yard. But I like some of these guys here. Yimi Garcia in the setup role. They brought him in over the offseason. I think he's fine. I just feel like this, what are these buttons right here? What the heck is that? What was that? But I feel like the bullpen just kind of lacks something, you know? Just feels like they could use a little something. You got Adam Simber here. Let's take a look at David Phelps. They did bring in Sergio Romo. Let's look at these guys' numbers here. Adam Simber, fine, 3.29 ERA, 3.50. David Phelps has been pretty good. Sergio Romo has just been a complete bust. I think he is definitely a guy that needs to be on the outs. I don't think that experiment needs to continue any further. But to me, I just feel like this bullpen, the numbers prove it, but this bullpen has been a bit of an issue for the Blue Jays going back to last year. I really feel like, yeah, sure, you made some nice moves in the offseason. Whoa, we got a super chat coming in. Brandon Dillman with a $10 super chat. The Orioles are the superior bird. Oh my goodness. Who would have thought? Everyone was going for the Bluebirds in the playoffs this year, and who would have thought the Orange Birds would have been the ones that are actually the ones making some noise right now? And then the Blue Jays are making noise for all the wrong reasons. My goodness. Brandon Dillman, thank you so much. $10 super chat. All the support for the channel is always greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. But the Orioles, man, I think that's another big reason for why Toronto did what they did today, because if you take a look at the Orioles, they've won 9 straight games. They're 9-1 in their last 10. They've brought that run differential almost to even. My goodness, this Baltimore Orioles team, who would have thought? I'm going to say this right now. I'm not going to sit here and say that I was picking the Orioles in the offseason, or I was saying that they were going to be in contention. No, and I still think eventually, and maybe I'm being a little harsh, I'm not trying to dampen the mood here. I do feel like the Orioles, and this really could come back to bite me, because at this point, I mean, my goodness, they're playing extremely well. But I feel like the Orioles, they will die down a little bit. I think eventually the second half will catch up to them. I do like a lot of the players on this team. I really do. And I think they're showing here that they are close. If they don't end up making it this year, they're showing that they are close within the next couple of years. Baltimore, I do think their luck will run out in the second half. That's just my opinion. I'm very wrong a lot, and that could absolutely happen. But Baltimore, I think the pressure that they're putting on here, I think Toronto feels embarrassed. I think ownership is like, what the heck are we doing? They're in their, they're over there in Toronto, and they're thinking, what the heck? We stink. The Orioles are playing better than us. What's going on here? The Orioles shouldn't be doing this much better than us. We're the Toronto Blue Jays. We were supposed to be a powerhouse this year. And I think the Orioles putting on pressure, I think that kind of came into it a little bit too. And I think this was a move where a sense of urgency, I think, was brought into the decision-making here. Because they're thinking, all right, we're 2 games out in front of Baltimore right now. We are this close to being a last-place team. Who would have thought that all 5 teams in the American League East would be at least 500 right now? Who would have thought that at the beginning of the year? No one, I guarantee. No, not even me. That's crazy. When you look at this division right now, it's the best division in all of baseball. The fact that the last place team is 500 and these guys have to go up against each other, my goodness. Crazy, crazy. But I absolutely think the Orioles, them putting on pressure, I think went into that decision a little bit. I think you needed to shake up something in this clubhouse. To me, when you look at the 2 firings this year, Joe Madden, Joe Girardi. All right, hey, the first manager this year that's not named Joe was fired. But I think when you look at those two, when you look at the decision-making, you're at a 500 record. For the Angels, it has not really worked out for them. But for the Phillies, it's worked out big time. Now, you could argue that the Phillies are the more talented team, and it ended up working out in their favor. The Blue Jays are also a talented team. You could argue to me the Angels. Are the Angels more talented than the Phillies? Are they? I think the Phillies, when you looked at the another super chat coming in. Wonder Davey, bad management decisions and not motivating the team. I think so. I think at the end of the day, I think he was just making the wrong moves, and he just wasn't. I think at some point, the voice of Charlie Montoyo just, I think, ran out. I think the players weren't buying in anymore. Probably a club. I'm not sitting here saying that I know what's going on in Toronto Blue Jays clubhouse, but you're probably looking around. You're seeing guys. They're pressing. They're not feeling very good. They're not liking the mood of the clubhouse is probably not good right now, right? They're probably coming in saying, hey, what's going on, guys? How you doing? But when you're looking at the expectations coming into this year, right, you can't be feeling great coming to work every day. You know, you're supposed to be better than this. And I think in the end, I think management, they took a look around and they're like, all right, we're not seeing a team that's really motivated right now, just like you said, Wonder Davey. So I agree with you. But the Baltimore Orioles are in the chat, 44-44. Incredible result. Baltimore Orioles, what's going on? How you doing? Good job so far this season. But for the Blue Jays, the bullpen is the really big issue here. Again, you don't have a bad bullpen by any means. I just wonder, are you bringing in guys in the right spots? Are guys coming in the right innings? Do you have the right roles? Do you need another guy? Got another super chat here by Victor1. Do you think Gabe Kapler is causing division in the clubhouse, expressing his politics? I will say this. Last year, I think it didn't really seem... I don't know. I can't remember if Gabe Kapler ever got to a point where he talked about anything. I don't know. But it's very possible. I mean, absolutely. I think that stuff, you got to keep that stuff to yourself, man. That's just my personal opinion. I don't know. I think at the end of the day, probably not if I were to make a bet on it. I just think the Giants, when you look at what the Giants are doing, they just got all these different things going on. They got platoons going on. It's just, the bullpen has kind of been up and down this year. I don't know. I just feel like the Giants, you know, they've also had some injuries as well. So I feel like it's just they're just not fully at their best. You know, I just see a Giants team that it just feels all over the place. But Gabe Kapler, I mean, I don't know. Could maybe some players maybe who have different opinions maybe don't feel very comfortable. I don't know. It's very possible. I feel like in the end, if I were to answer that question, I would say that could be reaching. I don't know. At the end of the day, it could. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question, to be completely honest, but it's possible. So either way, the Giants clubhouse and the Giants, you know, they're kind of playing below what they were last year. Granted, they did lose some pieces last year, but in the offseason, but they did bring in some pretty good pieces as well. Carlos Rodon, one of the biggest All-Star Game snubs ever, in my opinion. I know he just got added to the All-Star team, but I mean, come on. The fact that guy wasn't put on the All-Star roster from the get-go is a complete slap in the face. Like, what the? And I don't want to say a slap in the face. Just like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Why? How did you not even put that guy? I don't know. The All-Star Game to me is just a joke. I think it's a popularity contest at the end of the day. I feel like it's losing meaning every single year. I remember going back to the late 90s, the early 2000s. The All-Star Game meant something. It did. But now it just feels it's a clown show. You know, you got all this voting stuff going on. You got the final round of voting, and like you got someone like Xander Bogaerts. Whatever, call me Giraffe Neck Robbie if you want, but Xander Bogaerts should be the starting shortstop for the American League. Whatever, you can argue with me until you're blue in the face, but he is statistically better than Tim Anderson in pretty much every category. The fact that he wasn't, whatever, if Tim Anderson ended up getting the starting nod, fine, whatever. But the fact that Xander Bogaerts didn't even make it into the final round of voting, it's a broken system. The All-Star Game doesn't mean anything to me anymore. I get more excited. I mean, I've always kind of gotten more excited about the home run derby, to be completely honest. But now I'm just like, I don't know. It doesn't, to me, it's like, what's the point of even watching the All-Star Game? The voting is just it doesn't make sense a lot of the times. There's so many snubs that, really deserve to be there. There's always going to be snubs. There's always going to be, oh, this guy should have been there. But this year and last year, I remember there were guys that really deserved to be there, and they didn't get voted in. And like, it's abysmal, in all honesty. Anyway, I'm getting off track here, but thank you for the super chats. Really do appreciate that. Thank you for the support. For the Blue Jays, we got a bullpen here that I think has guys that are serviceable. To me, it's like you got some good numbers in here besides Sergio Romo. I actually didn't pull up Trevor Richards here. Let's see how Trevor Richards is doing. Trevor Richards, brutal. Oh my goodness, get this guy out of here. You got guys like Romano, Garcia, Meza, Simber, Phelps, I think are guys, yeah, you keep these guys in. But Romo, Richards, those guys got to go. I mean, Anthony Banda, I haven't looked at his numbers. But to me, oh my God. Well, actually, I like his FIP, 3.87. You can keep Anthony Banda around. To me, they need another guy for that bullpen, or another two guys. So you got a lot of options out here. Let's go just a quick reference. As you can see here, Blue Jays fire Charlie Montoyo. That is the top story right now. If you want to go on MLB trade rumors, they got their top trade candidates as of right now. I've been thinking from the get-go that they needed a reliever. But if we go take a look here, no, I don't think David Bednar is going to be the guy. So Blue Jays fans, pump the brakes on that one. The Pirates are not getting rid of David Bednar. Enough is enough. Now, someone like David Robertson could make some sense. I think David Robertson would be really good. David Robertson is a guy that he can get some ground balls, 50.7 ground ball percentage. And if we actually take a look here, let's go to the bullpen stats. Let's just go to all year. And, let's go to fielding. Let's go. Okay, so Blue Jays, where are we at? Where are the Blue Jays? Blue Jays 13th in defense, 44 defensive runs saved. Let me actually pull up Baseball Savant. I can go to outs above average. We can go to the team rankings. So right now, Padres in first place with their infield on outs above average. The Blue Jays, I think, would be a really good fit for David Robertson. As you can see here, the Blue Jays are 6th in outs above average when it comes to their infield. So I think David Robertson, who gets a lot of ground balls and strikeouts as well, because if you look at David Robertson, this guy's piling up some strikeouts. I think he actually would look pretty good in a Blue Jays uniform. Go back to the AL East. If we take a look here, he's getting right around 12 strikeouts per 9. 3.37 FIP, not bad. 2.10 ERA, and with a good infield behind him in Toronto, I think David Robertson would make a lot of sense for the Blue Jays. You know what? While we're here, tonight we will be going live, me and Baseball Trade Values. It won't be John tonight. It's going to be someone else from Baseball Trade Values. His name is Josh. He'll be in place of John tonight. But be here tonight. It'll be 8:30. We're going to be talking about all the trade rumors, all the trade news, and yeah, we're going to be firing up the simulator, the best baseball trade simulator out there. Don't even argue with me. If you're going to argue with me, go eat a sandwich, go to bed. Here we go. Blue Jays and the Cubs. Let's see what a trade between David Robertson would look like between the Blue Jays and the Cubs. So if we go to the Cubs, David Robertson's not going to cost a whole lot, so you don't got to worry about that. Why? He's a rental. So taking a look here. Robertson, where are you at? $1.7 million. That's all it's going to cost for David Robertson. However, that doesn't mean he's going to be easy to get. A lot of teams are going to be going after David Robertson, so it's going to be complicated. But if the Blue Jays want to get a deal done, you're probably going to have to give up a couple of prospects. I would say it really is just going to come down to the best offer, obviously. So if you're looking here, I would say when it comes, I don't think the Cubs are going to get a top 10 prospect for David Robertson. I'd be shocked if they got a top 10, unless it's from like a weaker farm system. To me, with the Blue Jays, I don't know. I'm thinking off the top of my head right now, maybe someone like a Bowden Francis, your number 15. Maybe like an Adam Kloffenstein. Let's see actually what am I saying that right? Kloffenstein. Am I saying that right? Here we go. Kloffenstein. So, look at that. He's their number 1, or he's their number 11, and he's only worth $1 million as of right now. So, maybe that could be a guy you send back. Let's throw in one more guy, shall we? If you wanted to match up the values, 0.7, Hernandez. Where is Hernandez on here? Adrian Hernandez, your number 18. So, right here, if you do these two, that's an even match. Kloffenstein is your number 11 prospect. Hernandez is your number 18. I could see something like that, possibly. I think the Blue Jays have the pieces to get it done. Do they feel like Robertson will be a game changer? I think he really could. I mean, especially with that good infield behind him, getting those ground balls. So we're going to have to wait and see, man. But if the Blue Jays wanted to up their offer a little bit, maybe you could move up. Maybe instead of Hernandez, maybe you can do Danner, the number 17. So let's take out Hernandez here. What is Danner worth? Let's see. Oh, Danner's 0.7 as well. Okay, let's go up a little bit more. How about Bowden Francis? How about Francis? That's your number 15. Actually, Francis, he's actually worth less, surprisingly enough. He's a higher prospect, but he's worth less. Probably has to do, I'm guessing, with his age. Yeah, he's 26 years old. And that's the big reason why Bowden Francis, the reason his value is lower is because he's a minor leaguer and he's 26 years old. That's pretty old for a minor leaguer. Whereas you look at someone like Hagen, Danner, and Hernandez, those are young guys, 23, 22 years old. So I don't know. Maybe you can throw in like an infielder. Maybe a catcher, Luis Meza, possibly. What would Meza cost you? Actually, 2.4. That's probably a little too much there. How about Zulueta? How much? He's only 24 years old. Again, 0.7. So I guess maybe if you're the Cubs, if you're the Blue Jays, you can tell the Cubs, all right, you can have your pick. You can have Kloffenstein, the number 11, and you could take a pick of Danner, Hernandez, and Zulueta. Right? Because they're all worth the same, 0.7 million. So you could take your pick. Maybe you could do a Samad Taylor, possibly. What was Taylor worth? 0.9. All right, so maybe you can up the offer here. You can do a very slight overpay, and that would be accepted by the simulator. So I think David Robertson for the Blue Jays would make a lot of sense. Maybe someone like Andrew Chafin could make some sense too. I was mentioning earlier they could use a lefty. Andrew Chafin, I think, would make a lot of sense. Let's see what a trade for Andrew Chafin would look like. Here we go. Blue Jays, Tigers. I won't spend too long on this because I think you all get the picture that they need a reliever. So let's go here. Chafin. What is Chafin worth? He's on a contract, so he's under a little control. Chafin, he's worth 4.3. So it's going to cost you a little something if you're the Blue Jays to get someone like Chafin. That I would actually, I don't know. For the Blue Jays, I don't know if it would be worth it because a guy that's really, maybe you could do a Luis Meza here. I don't know if they really want catching. Let's take a look. Okay, maybe you could do someone like a Van Eyck. I don't know, Van Eyck, though. He's under number 8. Ugh, do you really want to... Is that worth it for Chafin? Just a bullpen guy? I don't know. To me, that doesn't sound worth it. Maybe you could do someone like Machado instead. Machado is their number 13. That sounds a little more reasonable. And then maybe you could do... he's just a reliever. Like, I don't want to be giving up that much for a reliever. Maybe you could do like a major league piece. I don't know. Could you maybe throw Pearson back in there? What's going on with Pearson? That's one question I do have. What's up with Nate Pearson, man? Haven't heard of this guy in forever. Mononucleosis. Like, what the heck is going on with this guy? Blue Jays announced Tuesday Oh, okay. He had the lat. Okay. That's right. 3 to 4 weeks before he's reevaluated. So he should be reevaluated in the next couple of weeks. But this is a guy, I don't know. If you're the Blue Jays, could you maybe work out some kind of a deal involving Nate Pearson going back to the Tigers, and you're going to have Andrew Chafin? Gamer Mr. T, $2 super chat. Are the Red Sox going to get trades for pitchers? I think so. I think they'll bring in someone. I absolutely do. I think they will. I think they'll, because you're seeing some cracks with, Chris Sale looked fantastic last night. That infield, oh my God. Like, what the heck even happened last night? I don't even want to talk about that game. I really don't. No. I don't want to talk about that game last night. Chris Sale looked magnificent. His slider, chef's kiss. That slider was looking beautiful last night. 94, 95 with the fastball. Chris Sale looked fantastic. So you're going to be getting Nathan Eovaldi back eventually. The Red Sox are a team that I think really need that all-star break. So pretty happy about that coming up. But I definitely think they could use something for that bullpen. Someone like David Robertson, we talked about him, a Daniel Bard. The problem with, believe it or not, I can't, I'll say this right now. If the Red Sox make a trade for Alex Colomé, I'll freak out. Everyone that's been on this channel for a long time now, you'll know my history with Alex Colomé, because, yeah, there was one day on this channel where, one night on the channel, someone was like, oh my God, Robbie, breaking news, a big name signed, or go check out Jeff Passan or whatever. And I'm like, oh my God, what the heck happened? What the heck happened? And all it was Alex Colomé going to the Rockies. And I started throwing a hissy fit. If the Red Sox trade for Alex Colomé, I will probably explode. But I could honestly see the Red Sox going after someone like him because he gets a lot of ground balls, and the Red Sox, besides last night, have a pretty good defense in the infield. So, but I wonder if the Blue Jays could make out some kind of a trade for Chafin. Maybe you could move on from Nate Pearson, kind of like how the Phillies did last year with Spencer Howard. You know, it was kind of a little shocking when they traded Spencer Howard. But maybe the Blue Jays for the Tigers, you're thinking, okay, all right, yeah, we can take Nate Pearson back. All right, we can work with him. I would bet the Tigers would love to have someone like Nate Pearson. So, but who are some other relievers out here? You got someone like Matt Moore, who's really emerged this year. That's a possibility. Michael Givens on the Cubs. You got a lot of relievers on the Cubs. You got Robertson. You got Givens. Maybe someone like Rowan Wick, possibly. You got Chris Martin there too. Who else we got in here? I'm kind of, Daniel Bard is a guy. Could you see Daniel Bard come back to the NL or the AL East? Who else? Steve Cishek. I don't know. He doesn't really seem like a game changer. I wonder if Colomé would end up being a pretty good fit for the Blue Jays. Again, ground balls. Good infield defense with the Blue Jays. Just kind of running through. Jorge Lopez, you might as well take this. I don't think, to me, I did have him in my video. I thought the Astros should maybe go after him. But then again, I kind of rethought it. And I'm thinking, maybe the Astros need a lefty. They don't have a lefty in that bullpen. Jorge Lopez, the reason I thought he would be a good fit for the Astros would be because he gets, again, I say ground balls a lot, but it really does make a difference. And they have a really good infield defense. But now with the Orioles playing so well, I don't see that happening. Joe Mansupply was the guy who I thought the Diamondbacks or the Blue Jays should go after. There's also Joe Jimenez on the Tigers. Don't forget about Gregory Soto. That's another guy too. Lou Trevino on the A's. So Anthony Bass on the Marlins. There's plenty of relievers out there that the Blue Jays could go after. I think they will. Let's move off of the bullpen here. I don't think there's anything really wrong with this offense. In the last 30 days, they rank 6th in offense. I don't think there's a problem there. I think you're fine. I don't think you need to do anything. But if we were to kind of just look at the lineup really quick, I mean, obviously, if you could have, you got Kevin Biggio, who's been in and out of the lineup. He's been all right this year. That on-base percentage is back up from what it was a couple of years ago. 349 on base. He's just not a lot of batting average. The slugging is really low. He's not really an impact bat. Could you possibly add an impact lefty bat somewhere? Someone like a Benintendi, possibly, but where would you put him? I don't know. So you could do something with this lineup. I don't know. I don't know. It's just hard, man, because like it's hard to move off of some of these guys. Lourdes Gurriel Jr., huge night last night, man. He went 4 for 4. He's having himself a good year. Not a lot of slugging, but I don't know. To me, I don't think there's nothing really there to fix. Espinal, how's he been doing lately? He was off to a really good start. He's still been pretty fine. Again, the slugging. I feel like they could use, if you were to add someone, I don't know. To me, I don't think they need to add anyone. I don't think they do. I just think guys like Bo Bichette, I think, need to heat up a little bit. He's been heating up. Those numbers are starting to creep up a little bit. So I think, I don't know. I just don't see really a reason to add a bat. So I think the offense is fine. Now, as for the starting pitching, I mean, Barrios right now is the guy. He's got to get his act together, man. He is just working through some things this year, not having a good year. I mean, look at that, 5.38 ERA. The FIP is a tiny bit forgiving, 4.81, but still not good. So Barrios really needs to figure it out. Stripling, I think, has been a nice surprise to the Blue Jays this year. Taking a look at him, you know, he's been solid. So there's nothing really wrong there. Gosman, obviously, he's been an awesome pickup this year in place of Robbie Ray. How this guy didn't get to the All-Star game, I don't know. He's been dealing with the ankle a little bit lately. Maybe that's why he didn't get to the All-Star game, because he was dealing with the ankle or something. Alek Manoah's been pretty good. Actually, he's been really good. 2.34 ERA. So I don't think there's really anything wrong. I don't know. Like, I'm looking here. It's just funny because, like, your offense is so right-handed heavy and your starting pitching is so right-handed heavy. And now, obviously, you had some lefties in Kikuchi and Ryu. So Ryu, I think, was a pretty tough loss because that's a guy they brought in for some big money. That was like that first piece of the puzzle that they brought in to say, hey, we're serious. We're going to spend some money. And Kikuchi, he's basically just been a bust. He did throw a bullpen yesterday, right? Yeah, yesterday. So I don't know, man. But I was reading something the other day that the Mariners, you know, they were completely okay with moving on from him because there was stuff mechanically that they were worried about, and there were some other things that they were worried about. So could that be like a health thing, a bit of a mental thing? I don't know. But Kikuchi has not really worked out. But then again, I'm not really surprised because the numbers, that's what the numbers showed last year. I mean, if you look at his numbers with the Mariners last year, he was out of the rotation at the end of the year. They couldn't even trust him in that last week. He had a really good first half, and then the second half, he just fell off the face of the planet. But if you look at his numbers last year, he had a 5.61 FIP, a 5.23 expected ERA. I don't know, what were you expecting? I mean, because he gets a lot of strikeouts? What were you expecting with Kikuchi? I wasn't expecting all that much. To me, it's like they gave this guy, $36 million over 3 years, $12 million per year? What has he been worth this year? He's been worth negative $4.3 million. What the heck? Like, why did the Blue Jays give him this contract? He was worth $9 million in 2021. Oh, Super Chat. U.S. veteran with a $20 bomb. He says, because you deserve it. Thank you, U.S. veteran. I appreciate that. $20 Super Chat, my friend. Thank you. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Appreciate that, man. Really do. Kikuchi, man. I don't know. I wasn't really expecting all that much. And you gave this guy $12 million per year when last year he was worth $9 million. So I guess you were thinking, all right, well, you're gonna pay for, the coming years. But here's the problem. The guy he's almost, what is he? He's just turned 31. So it's not like you were paying for this guy at his age 26, 27 season. So I don't know. What were you I don't know. I thought that was looking back on it. At the time, I'm thinking, all right, he's got good stuff. I don't know. To me, it's just a bad contract. I don't see what the point of that was. I don't know. But Nate Pearson, I don't know what's going on with that guy, man. I wonder if they end up dealing him. It's going to be kind of hard to because he's been dealing with so many injuries, but I don't know. Maybe a team would be willing to take a flyer on him. I mean, that's the thing with Nate Pearson. He oozes potential. So that's why I'm wondering, like a team like the Tigers, would they be willing to give up someone like Andrew Chafin and maybe you work around, I don't know, maybe throw in a couple of more players, whatever, make some kind of a package deal Maybe throw in like a Nate Pearson. I could see Nate Pearson this year being like the Spencer Howard of last year with the Phillies, right? You got to kind of give up a little something, you know? And for the Phillies, it's worked out. I mean, Kyle Gibson's been very serviceable in that rotation. You know, so for at least for right now, it's been working out for the Phillies. So he's been giving him some pretty solid production for the most part. But maybe Nate Pearson could be that guy this year because of the potential. And I think it's at this point, it's like Blue Jays fans. I think there's some Nate Pearson fatigue. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. There's also Julian Merriweather. What's going on with him? What's going on with him, man? So he's been dealing with his numbers were, his FIP was good. 3.49 FIP. When was the last time he pitched? June 13th. That was my birthday. So he hasn't pitched in a while. So I guess you could see him down the stretch, maybe in like August, like, I don't know, middle of August or so, September. So he could be a nice boost for the final month. I don't know, man. They need bullpen help. Maybe a left-handed bat. You'd have to move something else around. I don't know. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Oh, another super chat coming in. Jimmy Productions. Can you shout out my friend Marcus Bernal? I think I'm saying that right. Marcus Bernal. What's going on, my friend? Is it Bernal? I'm going to say Bernal. Marcus Bernal. What's going on, my friend? How you doing? Man, oh, man. Thank you, Jimmy Productions, for the super chat. Oh, Matt. Could you imagine the Blue Jays hiring Joe Madden? Could you imagine that? Ryan McDonald, Kikuchi needs to go. Honestly, coming from Mariners fans, he's not very good. It just felt like the stuff was always pretty good with him. So I don't know. Is there any word? Actually, one thing I did not look at. Who is going to be the interim? Who's the interim? Do they have that news yet? So another thing, too, with Charlie Montoyo, the decision comes barely 3 months after Montoyo signed a 1-year extension that ran through the end of the 2023 season. So it's not like I guess he was sort of getting into that limbo phase, you know, so the Blue Jays, they kind of just thought, all right, we're probably not going to really do anything with this guy moving forward. So we'll have him for next year, but I don't know. But, have they announced anything about an interim guy? I mean, I'm guessing it would just be the bench coach. Is it Schneider? Oh, John Schneider. Okay. Oh, duh. It says it right here. So, yeah, John Schneider. Yeah, AAA manager Casey Candaly is joining the Major League staff as the bench coach. All right, so you got a lot of movement going on right now in Toronto. Got the manager of the AAA team going up to the majors. So now, I mean, everyone's shuffling around right now. But I think, to me, what I think this says, this to me is complete just sense of urgency. You know, I think there's a lot of factors. The bullpen has not been run well. Granted, I'm not going to put that all on Charlie Montoyo, but they've had injuries as well. Some guys that are out. But probably just the way he's been managing the bullpen. He hasn't been able to find a good mix. They've been blowing games. If we actually go take a look at the stats here one more time. Got another super chat coming in. Jonathan Marquez with a 99-cent super chat, just showing some support. I appreciate you, Jonathan Marquez. Welcome to the show. Jonathan Marquez, what's going on, my friend? But over the last 30 days... I like to look at the last 30 days. That's just me. I always like to look at the last couple of weeks, last 30. Because, you know, what you're doing in April and May really might not mean all that much right now. But Toronto, they've blown 5 games in the last 30. Well, they've lost 5 games from their bullpen. So it's not really going all that great, man. Jimmy Productions with another $1.99. They should hire Brad Ausmus. I wonder, man, you know, going into in the offseason. You know, will, you know, Schneider end up being the guy they move forward with, or could they go with another guy? This is very much what the Phillies did. So I don't know. We're gonna have to wait and see. I think for right now, I think the focus shouldn't really be on the manager. I just think, there was, to me, in my personal opinion, I think there was a lot of stuff going on behind closed doors. I think Charlie Montoyo was probably just not the right voice. They weren't really feeling it. Michael Rotter has renewed his membership for the third straight month. Michael Rotter, what's going on, my friend? Also, everyone, we got memberships on this channel. We got memberships, so check that out. For just 99 cents per month, you get a badge next to your name, and you get to use emojis in the chat. For the next higher tier, you get access to the private Discord where you can talk baseball throughout the day. Yeah. And then I have a third tier as well where you'll be able to contribute video ideas in the future and so on. So definitely think about memberships on the channel. But thank you, Michael. I appreciate you upping for another month of membership. Thank you. But for the Blue Jays, it's the bullpen. There's no other, really any other way around it. I think you just need to find some balance on this team. They've been losing a lot of games lately. I think it's just a shake-up kind of a move. It's sense of urgency. There's not really a whole lot else to talk about. But everyone, that's pretty much all I can really squeeze out of this. I mean, to me, it's kind of, it is surprising in a sense where you don't ever see managers get fired. You just don't. In season, you don't ever see it happen. And now we've had 3. So now I don't even know what to expect anymore moving forward. But it's not surprising when it's coming from these 3 teams that want to win. I don't know. Maybe you can make the argument with the Angels. Do they want to win? I don't know what's going on over there. I don't get it. Do they want to win, or do they just want to sell tickets for people to come see Ohtani and Trout? I don't know what's going on. But for the Phillies and the Blue Jays, clearly these were sense of urgency kind of moves. It worked for the Phillies. Can it work for the Blue Jays? I really do think the Blue Jays, there's too much talent on this team. I think they're going to get themselves straightened out. I think this is going to be kind of a kick in the pants a little bit. Be like, all right, come on, guys. What are we doing here? We gotta get our heads right. In the end, I think this will be a good move for them. I just don't. I don't know. It would be shocking to me if the Blue Jays didn't make the playoffs this year after all the Kool-Aid that was being drank in the offseason. Jimmy Productions with another $4.99. Robbie, I was thinking of a trade. Could the Nationals trading Josh Bell for Anthony Rendon and some prospects? Anthony Rendon? Nah, dude. Absolutely not, because Anthony Rendon's contract is so underwater. It has so much negative value. There's no way. Nah. There's no way. You would have to give up a boatload just to get out of that contract, or if the Angels want to pay it. I don't know about that, but I don't know. I don't see that happening, Jimmy, unfortunately. But I would love for the Red Sox to go after Josh Bell after seeing some pretty bad defense yesterday. I'm not saying Josh Bell is going to, kind of tear the walls down with his defense, but whatever. It'd be better than what we saw last night. But in the end, Charlie Montoyo on his way out of town. Blue Jays going with Schneider, the bench coach. And I think it will work out for them. It better work out. As a Red Sox fan, I hope it does not work out. I hope it doesn't. But we're going to have to wait and see. Everyone, make sure you tune in tonight. Myself and Josh of Baseball Trade Values are going to be talking about all of the latest news and rumors in the trade market leading up to the deadline tonight, so be on the lookout for that. I'm currently working on some MLB draft, or on a MLB draft video, so be on the lookout for that as well. I would like to get that put up today. It's still pretty early. I'm hoping out because we got the live show tonight. Not sure if I'm going to be able to post it today. I would love at least to be able to post it by tomorrow. So, everyone, go have yourself a good rest of your day, whatever you're doing. Go have yourself a good day. And I will see you all later tonight. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll talk to you next time.